Hi everyone, welcome to Stony Brook Live. Today we're going to be discussing inside the Stony Brook University application process. My name is Sangimino. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions here at Stony Brook University, and I'm joined by a current student.
Hi guys, my name is Eric. I am a senior here at Stony Brook, majoring in political science, and also pursuing my master's here in public policy as well.
Excellent. Now, Eric, you're very involved with campus.
Yes.
You want to tell them a little bit about what you do here at Stony Brook?
Yep. So at Stony Brook, I am a teaching assistant for a few different classes. I am heavily involved in research within our political science department, as well as an undergraduate college fellow. What that means is that at Stony Brook, I'm able to work with a lot of first-year students, and I really just kind of help them transition between high school and Stony Brook. We want to make sure they have all the resources that they need to get off onto the right foot. And I'm also a tour guide here on campus. So if you visited, you may have seen me before.
The face of Stony
Yes.
Brook. Excellent. So many of you may have already submitted your applications. Some of you may still be in the process of submitting your applications. Just know that our deadline is January 15th. However, I would not wait until then to submit your application if you haven't already. Right now is a good time to submit it because it will allow you that if anything is missing, you'll still have enough time to get it in before the deadline. So we will talk a little bit about the timeline and the process of all of that. Once you do submit your application, you will get an email confirmation, usually within about 2 weeks. And within that confirmation, it'll give you your Stony Brook ID number. This is a very important number, so definitely write it down or keep it in your phone, keep it somewhere accessible. In that email will also be a link for Solar, so you can use your ID number to log into your Solar account. Now, the Solar account is very important. This is going to be your connection to the university. Within the Solar account, the first steps you'll probably do is check your application status. There will be a checklist to let you know if there's anything missing from your application. So it'll let you know if we've received your high school transcript or your standardized test scores or any of those important details. Eric, do you remember what it was like when you submitted your application?
I did. It was a pretty hectic time, only because juggling a bunch of applications can be difficult. But after you submit it, the university is really good with keeping you updated with the process. They really do send out a lot of emails, saying make sure you're checking in on Solar, especially if you're missing anything or if you need to revise something. They're really good about reaching out and staying in touch with you guys.
Now, another important factor about the Solar account is that's where the decisions will also be posted. So that's where you can find out your decision in Solar. So it is important to keep up with checking your emails from Stony Brook because you will get notifications from us. That doesn't mean you have to log into Solar every day, but you just want to check it periodically, maybe once a week, just to make sure we've received everything. Sometimes after reviewing an application, we may ask for additional items, and then those items will also be posted in your Solar account. For example, sometimes we ask for mid-year grades, and then that will be in your checklist in Solar. So just keep that in mind. Now, Eric, as a current student, what are some ways that you use Solar?
So as a current student, you kind of use Solar almost every day. Again, as Lauren was saying, make sure that you are always checking your email, especially once you're a student. It's your only, I guess, point of connection with a lot of professors or students, and especially the Solar system. So now I use it to enroll in classes. If I have to log hours for work, I can go on there. If I need to see if there's any holds on your account, which just means that the university needs something, whether it's your signature for something or if you have to finish enrolling in a class or pay something, it's definitely kind of all right there, and important to continue to look at it so that you don't have any holds on your account, and so that you can always get that stuff done.
You actually just reminded me of something. Our financial aid packages are also posted in the Solar account. So after students receive their decisions, the students who are admitted, your financial aid package will be posted in your Solar account once we have received all of your financial information from your FAFSA form. So that's another important thing. We don't send those out paper anymore. We do everything electronic. So that's one important detail. Now, in terms of decisions, the way the timeline works is we give ourselves until April 1st, the latest, to let all students know of their decisions. The majority of the decisions tend to go out in January and February. We are getting to the height of application season, so we are viciously reading applications, and we're constantly going through them, and we are making decisions on a regular basis. If we have decisions made, we will try to send those out as soon as we can. Just know that it is a process. Some applications take longer to read than others. So if your friend received a decision and you didn't receive a decision and you applied at the same time, that's normal. That's okay. Sometimes we just like to look a little bit more deeper into an application, and sometimes there's different rounds of reviewing applications as well. Then usually what happens is, in the past, typically mid-March is the time that we send out scholarship information. We're trying to, again, get that information out as soon as we can. We automatically review students for academic scholarships. So when you apply, we'll look at your GPA and standardized test scores, and then students will receive a letter in the mail. Just keep in mind that the scholarship letters do not tend to go out with the admissions letters. They are sent separately. And then that brings us to that April 1st deadline. And then May 1st is the national deadline for deposits. So that's the national deadline for students to make their decisions as to where they want to attend. Now at this time, there will be more information in your solar account about enrolling in Stony Brook. You can place your deposits in your solar account as well. So solar is really your one-stop shopping at Stony Brook. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to enter them in the chat box on your screen. If you have any questions about student life or anything like that, or majors, we're here to help answer those questions for you also. Do you remember how you received your decision for Stony Brook?
Yes, I received an email that, wants you to check your solar account, and then you go onto your solar account, and then your decision is available there. I think you have to go to your messages, and then it'll say decision available. That's when you find out.
Awesome. So you've been here at Stony Brook for a little while now.
Yes.
So you've kind of learned the ins and outs.
Yes.
About Stony Brook.
Yep.
Any advice that you have for prospective students?
Really just general advice for, college, just in general. Stay on top of deadlines, which again also kind of ties in with application. Keep a to-do list or some sort of agenda that, outlines everything. Maybe get a calendar. That always helps me. And then always leave a little time for yourself too. It's important to get good grades, but it's also important to take time to really just relax, enjoy college while you're here.
Looks like we have a question. Eric, what made you decide to pick Stony Brook?
So for me, picking Stony Brook was, I don't want to say an easy decision, but it was easy in a sense that when I visited the campus, I felt really at home. I felt really comfortable here, and I think that's something that a lot of prospective students who visit the campus experience. For me also, it was a great opportunity to have a traditional college feel with proximity to the city for internship opportunities, employment opportunities as well.
Excellent. I forgot to mention before, students who are interested in any of our honors programs, typically you would just check those off on the supplemental part of the application, and then you will be reviewed for those. We do have different types of honors programs. We have Honors College, which is a 4-year program. It is the top 2% in the class. We have WISE, which is for females interested in the STEM areas. That is a 4-year program. It's mentorship based, lots of research opportunities there. And then we also have University Scholars. This is a 1-year freshman program. So if you're interested in any of those or all of those, you can check them off on your application, and then we'll review you for whichever one fits you best. We do have some even more competitive programs. We have Scholars for Medicine. So for students interested in going on to medical school, we do have a medical school here at Stony Brook University. And Scholars for Medicine allows incoming freshmen, when you apply to Stony Brook, you can also apply to our Scholars for Medicine program. So this is an 8-year medical program, and it reserves a seat for you in our medical school. So if you are admitted to this program as a freshman, you have a spot in our medical school. So that's a pretty big deal for students. It is very competitive. There's usually an interview as part of that process as well. If students are being considered for that program, they will be notified as we get closer to the spring, and typically interviews happen in the spring for that. So since Eric is one of our tour guides, you want to talk a little bit about spring tours and when those are available?
So if you guys either haven't visited us yet, or maybe you want to come back again, our tours do resume in early February, so you can actually go online and reserve a spot. But don't worry, guys, if for some reason you can't sign up for one, always swing by. We're always usually giving one. So definitely come out. Again, even if you can't go on a tour, at least take a look at the campus. They usually last for about, it's only about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 minutes of, visiting the campus, but you guys really do see a lot. You get a really great opportunity to see what we have to offer here, talk with real students who are kind of going through the process each day. And it's also a great time to ask all those questions that you may have that maybe admissions counselors aren't always able to ask because, they're not students.
Right. We also have a mobile app too. So if you happen to come on a Sunday when the office is closed, you can use the mobile app and do a self-guided tour as well, which is kind of pretty cool. I think we also have a virtual tour too as well. So there's lots of different options to get to see and get to know Stony Brook. In terms of our location, so Stony Brook, we're located on Long Island in New York. We're about 60 miles east of New York City, so we're on the north shore of Long Island. We are very close to the beach. In fact, the town of Stony, when you're actually in the town of Stony Brook, you can see the water right there. We have the town of Port Jefferson just 10 minutes east of us as well. That's a big seaport town, lots of restaurants. That's where the ferry comes in from Connecticut as well. So that's a nice place for our students to go hang out as well. Also within the area, we have the Smith Haven Mall. That has lots of restaurants. We have Bed Bath & Beyond, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, movie theater, Target, Kohl's, Walmart, all just within the area. So it is very easily accessible. We do have a bus that goes around campus and off campus as well. We have the Long Island Railroad train station right on our campus, so you can head directly into New York City. It's probably about an hour and 15 minute, hour and a half train ride, depending on the time of day, but it is easily accessible. That was kind of one of the things you were talking about before, is the location. So for you as a current student, what are some things that you like to enjoy being in the area?
So as a current student, I do enjoy a lot of the activities that Stony Brook offers itself. So, not just going off campus to maybe Port Jefferson to hang out. I do enjoy going to the beach, so I may go to the South Shore, which is about a half hour away or so. Or again, if I do go into the city, that's always an option as well. But a lot of the events that we host on campus, whether it's a film festival one weekend or we do a carnival in the start of the fall semester, we have a lot of farmers markets during that fall semester as well. I grew up in Western New York, so I'm very used to having those farmers markets around, and having them here, it kind of brings me back home a little bit.
Apple Festival, Strawberry Festival, Roth Pond Regatta, that's our big Stony Brook tradition, where students get together and they build boats out of cardboard, duct tape, and paint, and they race them across our Roth Pond. They can hold about 4 or 5 people on them, right? They're pretty massive. Some make it across, some get a little soggy and sink, but that's kind of all part of the fun of it. Live music, cotton candy. So there's always fun events to look forward to throughout the year. Even myself, as an employee of Stony Brook, I always look forward to these events because I'm allowed to come out and participate in them as well. So it really creates a nice community on the campus.
Then we also have sporting events every weekend too, so that's always fun to go watch.
Yes. Just a reminder, January 15th is our deadline for applications and supporting documentation if you have not already submitted it. Definitely try to get that in soon. I know a lot of students are coming up on a holiday break soon, so that's also a good time to submit your applications. So you can, look over that essay one more time, see how, see if you have any adjustments to make or any additions that you want to make. So definitely submit that as soon as you can.
Don't wait. And that also goes for college as well. Don't wait till the last minute to submit any homework assignments.
That's true. And then don't forget to follow us too. We are at Stony Brook U. So we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place.
Yep. We're on Instagram too.
Yep, we're on YouTube as well. And I guess that's all. Yeah, we've received all of our questions. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope we were able to give you a little bit of insight in Stony Brook University. You can always email us at enroll@stonybrook.edu. Oh, wait, one more question coming in about the essay. So the essay is built into the application. There are different topics of essay for you to choose from. I always like to say choose whatever you're passionate about, because then it'll be interesting to us. It's really the part where we get to know you as a person. We get to know what your interests are, and it creates, it becomes a little bit more personalized part of the application as well. Okay, so thanks again for joining us. Again, enroll at stonybrook.edu. You can also follow us at Stony Brook U. So good luck submitting your applications. Happy holidays. And we hope to see you soon on campus. Thanks for joining us.